Okay, so we have something I need to discuss with you right now. So there's a ton of people out there that are trying to get into video game collecting, and you're probably one of them since you're watching this video. I know I was 5 years ago, back in 2018, but a lot of these videos are like 10 years old, 5 years old, you know? And those things don't really apply as much today as they did back then because game prices are way more expensive. Nowadays you see people know what they have a lot more, so, you know, yard sales used to be great, flea markets used to be fantastic, but now people are kind of like, I know this game costs a lot of money, so you're gonna pay full price from my yard sale. Come on, man, I had to go to 100 yard sales to find one good game, and then they're charging full price for it, and it's like, bro, you're at a yard sale, you're not doing any work, you're just putting it out on a table for me, like, can I just buy it for a decent price?
No way.
But that's beside the point. If you're trying to build your game collection and you want some tips, here's 5 that I've learned along my 5-year journey for video game collecting, and I hope these can help you grow your collection with not a lot of money and not a lot of time. So without any further ado, tip number 1 would be to talk to your friends and family about it. Just let them know that you're getting into game collecting. A lot of them might have old consoles and games lying around that they don't care about, because if they're not collecting, they're just sitting down in a bin in the basement, and they'd much rather see someone get use out of them, especially their friend or family member, than to just toss them out, donate them, or whatever else people do with their old games, I don't know. So a great example of this, my sister's boyfriend, now husband, when I was about 10 years old, he was like 15, 16, but at that time he had a bunch of old GameCube games he didn't play anymore, and he saw that I had a few and I played them all the time and that I loved the GameCube. So to get a couple brownie points, he brought over some of his old games that he didn't care about, including Mario Superstar Baseball, Mario Party 5, Super Smash Bros., Sonic Adventure 2. Like, these are big, heavy-hitting titles that are so nostalgic for me nowadays, but he didn't care about them at that time and gave them to me, and I got to have such an amazing experience with them. But yeah, it doesn't hurt. The worst they can say is, nah man, I don't got anything, or no, get away from me. You know, you're not gonna get them if you don't ask, so you might as well. And even if they don't have old stuff to give you, you know, when your birthday or Christmas rolls around, they'll know or have an idea of what to get you. You know, you collect video games, you're gonna get some video games. If you don't tell them, you're gonna get, you know, shirts without video game characters on them, just basic shirts and stuff. So that would be my first tip for you. My second tip would be to buy games in bulk and sell off what you don't need. Now, a lot of people see this as, oh, you're a scalper, or oh, you're trying to rip people off. But honestly, if all parties are happy, you're not hurting anybody, and it makes everyone happy, as I just said. If someone's fine selling you their lot of games, you know, it's a lot easier for them than listing each individual game. If they'll sell you a big bin and get them off their hands, they're doing less of the work up front, and you can potentially make a profit off of that and be able to build your collection with not a lot of money. Now, this does require you to have some upfront to buy a lot, but you can sell it back, recoup most of that, and then keep buying games. So that's what I did back in the day when I started collecting in 2017, 2018. I remember I got a couple $100 for my birthday or something, and I spent that on a DS lot of some like really, really good titles. I had some DS and 3DS stuff. And I sold Fire Emblem Shadow Warrior, I think, the gold one with the or Dragon, Shadow Dragon, I think it is. That one was like $50, $60, and there were a couple other like really pricey ones that I was able to sell, recoup all the money, and I built up a huge 3DS and DS collection in not a lot of time, and I was like so proud of that because I even made a profit and got free video games, so that was like a dream come true for me because I was 14 years old and I was making bank, you know? I remember I made a short about a Super Nintendo lot I got, I think it was a year or two ago. I got it for like $50. It came with Super Metroid, Contra 3, and a couple other games, and people were like, why did you scam them? You know, why didn't you offer more money? They accepted the offer. If they didn't want to accept it, they can click no. Like, the information is out there. If you're willing to sell it for less, there's no harm, no foul there. I'm super happy because I got the games I wanted. They're super happy to get them off their hands. And the person I'm reselling them to, I'm selling them at a lower rate than they normally go for, just so I can offload the ones I already have. So everybody is getting a good deal. That's an exchange. It's capitalism. I love capitalism. Okay, tip number 3. I actually have an example game here. Here it is, Futurama on the Xbox. So the tip here is to sell the expensive games that you have only because they are expensive or rare. So when I first started collecting, one of the first games I bought was Futurama for the Xbox because I saw how expensive it was and I really wanted to have it just because it was rare and I like Futurama. But I wanted to get more games, so I realized that I should probably sell that so I can buy more affordable things. It wasn't worth having one game that I'd only play a couple times when I could get a dozen really quality games that I could get some real good times out of. So I decided to sell it, get some stuff, and I'm really happy I did that. I eventually found a good deal for it. That's why I have it now, but that's beside the point. If you're holding onto a game solely because it is rare or you think it's cool to have because it's expensive, you got to sell that, especially if you're trying to grow your collection right now. Get rid of that, buy some games to fill out your collection. That's way more valuable than just having one game on display. You know, you can get some use out of your collection. That's why we collect video games, because we want to play them, not because we want to hold them because they're valuable. Game collecting is a hobby because playing the games themselves is fun. That's why I got into it. That's probably why you're getting into it. So don't get in your head about how much things are worth. Buy things that you genuinely want to play. Tip number 4 might be seen as a bit of a cop-out, but collect for a system that's not super expensive right now, because game libraries are constantly fluctuating in value. I know when COVID hit, GameCube stuff skyrocketed, so that would be a terrible time to buy GameCube games. Instead, the Wii and Wii U stuff kind of went on a discount pretty much because everyone was buying those GameCube games, and I scooped up a ton of Wii U and Wii games for not a lot of money, and now those are starting to go up a little bit more. Well, the Wii is anyway. The Wii U right now is very, very cheap to collect for. So if I was starting right now, I'd go for like Xbox 360 generation. That and the PS3, those games are dirt cheap. I bought lots of those at a time and just kept the ones that I was genuinely interested in, then sold off the rest of the games as a lot just to recoup some of the money. So, you know, you can mix and match these tips, but definitely collect for a cheaper console because it'll get you way further. That same amount of money, you know, on GameCube you want a Mario game, you're going to spend $60 on Mario Sunshine, or you could spend that same $60 on Wii U and you could walk out with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Mario 3D World, Smash Bros, Mario Kart 8, and so many great titles for that same price. So it's just about getting the best bang for your buck. I know if you really want to collect for a certain system and you're not interested in other ones, then this doesn't apply to you, but if you're just trying to build up a big game collection, definitely buy what's cheap now, because in a few years you might regret it and it could go up a ton. So tip number 4 would be to do that. And finally, tip number 5 may seem like a very obvious one, but take advantage of clearance items and things that are on sale at retailers, because sometimes they're just trying to offload their inventory and you can pick up a lot of games for close to nothing. I remember GameStop's website, they were trying to get rid of a bunch of older games, so they always had like a buy one get one free on $15 or less pre-owned stuff. So I picked up a ton of Wii games and even some N64 and like retro stuff, because online they have that in stock, and I got like Kirby's Adventure and games like that, and I got them at half price because I just sold the other one for the full price and was able to pay half price for a really quality game. And then they had one sale, it was buy one new game and get any pre-owned game 50% off. So I bought Paper Mario the Origami King, and then I got the pre-owned Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was $110 on their website, marked down to $55. Now it was worth like $130, but I paid $55 for Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I could not be happier with that. But it's just, if you keep an eye out for those clearance items and those sales going on, you can really take advantage of those and build your collection very quickly. That's why Black Friday season is so key. It can really make or break your collecting year. This year I didn't buy a ton, but normally I wait for that to get my new Madden game that I want to play, and really any new game that came out that year. You wait till Black Friday. Sonic Frontiers, I was so upset about this because I paid $60 for it on November 8th, and then literally within the month, Black Friday, it was marked down to $30. And I was just like, oh my god. It's a really fun game, and I'm glad I got to play it on launch, but like, dude, I would have much rather paid $30. So sometimes it's best to wait and see what the sales are for Black Friday season or tax season. I saw one year they had a bunch of GameStop sales when people getting their tax returns, you know, to stimulate the economy. But yeah, keep an eye out for retail sales, because those can be very valuable when you're looking to build your game collection. Those are all the tips, but I have one more little debunk, I guess, and that is with thrift stores. Now, I'm not doubting that people have found great games there. I'm sure they have. I found a couple decent things here and there, but it is not a fast way to grow your game collection. I've gone to my local Goodwills and Salvation Armies and thrift stores in general, and I found maybe 4 or 5 games there, and now they're charging like $3.50 per game, and those are not valuable games. My copy of Teen Titans on the PS2, I found at Goodwill. You know, it was a $15, $20 game back when they were selling this as a DVD for $2, so that was a reasonable deal. But other than that, you're not going to find a ton at thrift stores, and if you're looking to build your collection quickly, that is not the way to do it. You can definitely get some really good deals there, but I wouldn't get my hopes up for that. And with that said, that is pretty much all the advice I have for you, young collector, in building your game collection. So if you did find value in this video, please drop it a like. It would mean a lot to me. And also, if you've been collecting for a while and you have some tips and tricks to build your collection faster and cheaper, please drop those down below, because I definitely don't know everything about game collecting. I don't even have anything close to a big collection. I just have a lot of games that I have fun with, that are from my childhood and that make me happy. You know, I look at all these games and I would happily play almost any of them right now, because I just buy what I like. But if you have tips from your experience, please let me know down below. We can really help out this community here, build their game collection, and not spend a ton. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this video until the end, and I'll see you later.